Hey there everybody, are you wanting to bring your Vroid model to life in VSeeFace and some other programs as well, but don't have the cash to buy the equipment and pay for fancy programs? Well, today I'm going to be covering that's right, three free motion capture programs that you can use with VSeeFace and your Vroid VMM model. So let's log on in to Digital Paul Workshop. It is I, the unresponsive rig that won't let your character move, Techno Meow Tinkerer. Okay everyone, like I said in the intro, we got 3 free motion capture programs we'll be covering today. And the timestamps will be in the description if you want to fast forward to that specific program. But the 3 we've got covered, or we're going to be covering, is 3DPoseTracker. The second one is just known as free webcam hand tracking software with VMC for VSeeFace. Doesn't really have its own, don't really have a unique name. And the third one we'll be covering XR Animator. Now I will be covering each one of these using the program itself so you can see how it works as I record and do videos. So without any further ado, let's log on in. So the first program we're going to take a look at that allows you to do motion tracking is this one called 3DPoseTrack. And as you can kind of see, it's gotten me kind of wonky moving around here, but it is a free one. It does have some interesting features, and we're going to take a quick look at some of this. So as you can see here, not because it's acting up on me again. I don't know, is it my glasses that's throwing some of this stuff off? I don't know. I can, as you saw, just me. I'm just holding my hand up and it's waving. But it does have a few things. Why it's got me bent over for, I do not know. It might be my glasses. One of the features of go right here, source. You want to make sure your camera is selected if you want it to follow you like it's doing right with me right now. If I can talk, and if this thing can work. The avatar, you want to make sure you clicked on the one. It comes with 2. You got the Luna and the Yuki-chan. So you click here. I don't know how much it's going to. It looks like it affects my layout. My models was one I use, but go back to mine. You can come up here where it says movie file, and you can actually load in a video file. We'll do Kuzo from Emperor's New Groove, and then it's kind of supposed to be trying to be able to make where your character is doing the dancing of the video. Now, like I said, you can see how wonky it is for me, and it may be. I'm gonna get back to my camera here, and it could be because my system may not can handle this. And come over to configurations. Come back to image. You can see right here it says show input image. That's this little black box back here. I hit apply, and if I unclick it, disappears. I leave it on just to kind of see, make sure my camera is coming through, because it shows that. Of course, I got a mosaic. You click, if you load it, it may have this. It may show it on the entire background. So this one right here, show source image, will have that camera behind you, almost covering the entire background. Of course, you can show a background, add image if you want to through here. I use the upper model setting. Now, if you don't have this clicked, it will be trying to track your full body, and that means you're going to have to move back from your camera. For me, it's about 5 to 6 feet. I have to move back for it to pick me up and start following. But since I'm usually just sitting working at my desk doing these things, I don't need the full body, so I leave that clicked on. I haven't played much of these other things. Now, this positioning is kind of wonky. I wish it had like up and down arrow buttons. It's one of my main complaints, because you don't know what it is, and it depends on how. And what's weird is the Z-axis is how close it is to you or how far it's away, which to me that's kind of weird. And that's like in Blender and even in mathematical graphs. I did in math class, Z-axis was when you're working in 3 dimensions, was always the going up and down the height. But you come over here to where it says others, and this is what you're going to need if you want to export this out to your VSeeFace. You want to make sure you have this send VMC protocol. It gives you the IP address of your web port, but you want this 5-digit number here at port. And then I'm going to bring my VSeeFace on over. Let's get all that wonderful text in. And we're going to come up here to settings. You're going to come to general settings, and you're going to want to make sure your device setting is OBS virtual camera. And then you want to come down here where it says OSC VMC receiver, and you want to put that 5-digit number in right there. So you go to device settings, change your camera from your whatever webcam to OBS virtual, and then put in that 5-digit number, and pretty much it's how it's tracking. Now for me, when you first do it, it may give you a T-pose till you get all the information in. If it stays in that T-pose position, then that means the information hasn't. And it took me a while to figure out how to do this, really. And so as you can see here, kind of get a little wonky. I mean, we try here, if I put my hands up in front, I'm trying, you see, and it's not quite doing it. I'm doing the prayer motion with my hands in front of my face, and of course it's turning my face. And so it's not the most elegant as far as tracking goes. And like I said, I don't know 100% sure if it is just my system ain't powerful enough, or is it the actual 3Dposer. But this is at least one way you can check and see. If I can put my hand up here, I'm trying to put my left hand up. As you can see, it's not really going that high. I'm not trying to turn it, kind of twist this and everything. Give you an idea how this thing works. But that is pretty much it to cover on how to set up 3DPoseTrack if you want to use it. Now on to the next one. The next one on our list of free tracking software that you can use with VSeeFace is this one. It doesn't really have its own unique name. It's just, as you can see here on this website, free webcam hand tracking software with VMC for VSeeFace. That is pretty much it. Of course, it's got some Japanese here, and I can basically, it looks like it's saying Hondo. Yeah, it's Hondo tracking. That's all I can read is the hard kind of part of this. But as you can see here, it is a very simple thing, and let's get on into the actual program so we can see how it works. For the most part, try to remember. I think the only thing is I just had to turn this on, and then over here, let me see if it, yeah, there we go. Come on, let's see if I can get her to help me point. It's not going to do it too well. It's where it says over here, it says settings. I got it. It's where it says camera stop. It says start camera instead of stop camera. That's the on off switch for using your camera. I'm trying to remember, did I have to go in here and tell it to? I'm trying to remember if there's anywhere I had to go in here to do anything for my no, I don't need no web page. For the telling it to pick up my webcam, and I can't remember. Now over here where it says VMC send, and right now it says stop, you want to hit start, so it can go to your VSeeFace. Now the number, this default here when you first load it is 333, but I put the same port number as my other two, so I don't have to keep changing it in VSeeFace. And like the other one, as you can see, I've had to actually change up the way this thing looks a bit. Bring this up some. And it's the same thing. Just go into your settings, general settings. You want to make sure underneath device settings is the OBS virtual camera. Now, if you don't need to change it, the hand tracking, you can just put the 333 number there under the OSC VMC receiver. But like I said, I just changed it in the other program, so I don't have to keep changing it when I go flip between these three. But let's get on into showing a little bit. This one don't have that. At least I did not find that same feature that the 3DPoseTracker had, which allows you to load a video for your avatar to dance to. But we'll get in here. No, let me get the text off. And so you can kind of see, I'll hold my hands up. And so it gives you some movement. It ain't that great of a movement. Like if I'm holding hey, it does show my index finger. It show my ring finger. Kinda. So, and of course, let's see. It does let you see a little weird twist with the hands at the top. So like if I put my palms forward, it's doing something wonky. Put my palms behind me. Kinda, that left hand does not want to work. Boy, it's twisting my left hand weirdly. Yeah. If I do the prayer, let's see if it won't let me do no jutsu. I can't do jutsu. So, like I said, it gives you a little free motion. If you just, it's not, as you can tell, it's not as wonky. Although that left hand, for some reason, and that right wrist too, for some reason, likes to twist up, and I don't know why it keeps blinking. I don't know if that's maybe I got a glare on that glass is why it keeps blinking that one eye. Because I am having to wear my glasses a lot more now these days. But for the most part, you gotta like I said, it's not as wonky as the other one, but it feels like it's not quite as smooth or dynamic. But it is still an option if you want to choose to go with this one. Now let's go on to the third option. So the third and final of the free 3D tracking programs is this one from GitHub called XR Animator. Now it is a bit different from the other ones. To me, at least from playing around, it seems to be a little bit better as far as it goes with the movement than the others. Now, for some reason, that once it still got a little wonky, but like I said, now sometimes I have found that if I reboot my computer before running this stuff after been doing things tend to work a little better. But let's get on into the program, shall we? And this is the only one that I see that has done this weird window with no window, and I'm not a big fan because it took me a while to forget, because when it first came up, it hid this entire bottom section here, and you have to right click on this and hold your right click down, right click to move this thing around, and that's just weird and wonky. Why didn't you just give me a normal bar at the top where I can just click and drag? Of course, over here you got your close, your settings, your folder input and stuff. When you first open this program, this actually loads a program icon on your desktop, so you can launch from your desktop. But when you first open it up, it'll give you this little start button, and you can just click and drag your VRM into it if you do not want to use their default one. And you're going to have to come in here, you're going to have to double click this, and of course it wants to ask you about setting up the camera. Yes, I do the flip, and I select my camera that I use for the thing. Of course, you're going to have to come over here and turn the motion tracking on. Now, if I'm come in, I'm going to turn it off so you can see something, see how this works. You click it on, and you can choose between face, body, body and hands, face and body. Why can't it just be face and hands? So yeah, it does that. It gives you this little, I guess, mesh to kind of follow along with you. And see, I have to turn my head, tilt my head down for some reason, just so it can kind of look like I'm looking straight. And of course, like I said, now as far as hand movements and stuff goes, I think it does it a little bit better than the other ones, the arm tracking a little bit. So let's see. I'm doing my pinky. Come on, show my pinky. It won't show my pinky. I don't know if it. Like I said, mine is being weak. As far as, I think we said, the some of the tracking is kind of still wonky. But getting back to this thing, if you want to export it out, you got to make sure you got come up here and you got to make sure the VMC protocol is on. Of course, it gives you the same port number as the first program I covered, the 3D tracking program. And then on top of that, and that's basically mostly what you got to make sure. You got to have that same number. And of course, like before, you got to come in here. And the only reason I'm doing this is in case you skip ahead to certain things. Just come up to settings, general settings, put that number there, the same number I've been using for everything, and make sure the device setting camera is set to OBS virtual camera. And let's see, get that off. I forgot to do that last time. And so that's pretty much how you kind of can set it up. It gives you this interesting little data over here. I don't know what all this stuff means, but it might mean something if you see, like I said, I just wish they would not, when you do my arms, say, whoa, boy, that just got weird. Well, let's get into the let's get over here to the center load so we can kind of see how, because like I said, if I try to put my hands together like in the prayer motion, it's not really wanting to do. Come on, show my hands. For some reason, maybe if I change the tracking, let's see if we change the tracking on this thing, if it would do anything. Motion caption off. Let's do body and hands and see how that works. Come on, is it going to do anything? Nah, there we go. We kind of get, okay, body, show the hands. There's the hands. Okay, come on, come on, show both hands. There's okay, that's the right hand. No, that's the left. That's the left hand. Come on, where's the right hand? It does not want to work with me. There's the right hand. Slide you over. Not okay, got both hands up now. See, come on, let's do the prayer of the hands. Maybe let's turn the light on. Maybe having an extra light might help. It's still not wanting to work with me. That's not. And I turned the light on and didn't want to show. Now I turn the light off and it shows the hand. So this kind of gives you an idea at least about how it can work. I'm going to have to play around with these some more to see which ones do best and which ones I'm going to. Well, you'll probably see in the future which one I might be using, considering I'm recording this before I record a couple other videos. But that's pretty much it. So the final verdict of, at least my opinion, of these three, I still have all three of them. I have been using two of them more for the animations. Free webcam hand tracking. Someday I'm going to learn to talk. XR Animator are the two that I've currently been switching between doing my opening animations. And it's because it's depending upon what I want to do is which one I'm going. When it comes to lip movement, free webcam hand tracking tends to do better when it comes to my lip movement, whereas XR Animator often makes me sometimes look like I got an open mouth and won't close all the way. Like I'm a mouth breather. Hey, don't, it is what I'm VSeeFace don't even show it. But now another thing is when it comes to eyes, free webcam hand tracking does tend to want to make the right eye blink on its own at times for some reason, whereas XR Animator does kind of give me a slightly sleepyish look to my eyes. It seems like I'm trying to sit there and have to open my eyes wide open, like wider than normal, to try to get it to open, and I still don't think it works most of the time. But the main reason I pick XR Animator is when I need to do my finger tracking, and I tend to find it's better at the finger tracking than the free webcam. Now free webcam's good, like I said, just normal talking, and I just need to move my arms. Whereas XR Animator, when I want to use my fingers, like to point at things and stuff, I choose that one, even though it does make my mouth look kind of wonky. Now the 3DPoseTracker I still have, and as you can see here, was trying to do the caramel dance, and I'm holding on to it because I like the feature where I can upload a video and then upload my VRM, and my VRM's trying to track it, which is it's doing a terrible job. But I figured this would be good to keep for just doing some funny video posts to go social media, like on my X account. But so for the most part, it looks like I'm going to be using XR Animator for most of my openings. Now the reason I'm not using them in my videos themselves is because they're still kind of clunky, and like I said, I think at least I said it, XR Animator, I'm having to sit about another foot back away from the webcam for it to seem to work best with picking up both my hands. If I try to do it where I'm currently at, it don't want to always pick up both, even though I've got them both close up to my face. Now I have thrown in a LED light fixture that I picked up from the bin store, where I'm using it now on my workbench, but I'll turn it and face me and turn it and have it on when I'm trying to do the tracking. Was hoping that the extra lighting will help the program see me better. And that's pretty much it far as my final views on that. And if you like my content, you can go to these websites right here to support me in different ways, as well as like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think might find it interesting. And if you want to get started into 3D VTubing, then check out my video, Beginner's Guide to 3D V2 Modeling in VRoid. That way, if you want to start making your own model, and then you can follow up some of my other ones like Blender and stuff, you want to start getting a little bit more detailed, like me. Handsome, beautiful me. Anyway, have a nice day.